Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we got another announcement. We got announcement about next month's side event quest, and it's gonna be the Mole Man's underground hidden treasure thing, Mole Man expeditions. So here we go. The base idea about these Mole Man expeditions is the fact that you're gonna be only able to bring in 3 champions, so you're not gonna have your standard questing team. Also, these expeditions will have a lot of different paths. It seems like Kabam is going for the idea that there is kind of like a labyrinth of caves that are maybe not necessarily extremely long, but there's going to be like a lot of twists and turns and stuff in them. So here it says that each path is going to consist of 3 fights and the boss fight. So it's not too much, it's not too long. So it's basically 4 fights per path, and occasionally you can get ambushed by Mole Man himself. So that would be the 5th fight. But other than that, so the length of it doesn't seem too cruciating. What is interesting though is that it's going to be 8, 12, and 16 paths. And the reward structure there is also going to be a bit different, and I will be honest, I quite like it. So there will be some small rewards for completing and exploring, but it's not going to be a lot. So if we have 4 quests basically, and then we're gonna get 150 times 4, 600. Yeah, 600 6-star shards there, a couple thousand TFIB frags, some gold. So it's nowhere near like a major completion reward, but that is not the main point. The main point is that a majority of the rewards are going to be on the paths themselves, kind of like in a chest form or chest format or whatever. And then on these paths you will be able to get your 550 6-star hero crystal shards, 10,000 5-star shards, tier 5 basic fragments, tier 2 alpha fragments, tier 4 class catalyst, tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystals, tier 4 basics, and basic fragments. So overall the reward distribution is definitely quite well dispersed. There's some 6-star shards, obviously not many, just a few, but hey, at least it's some. Then there is some 5-star shards, some tier 5 Bs, some tier 2 alpha, some tier 4 Bs, some tier 4 class catalysts, and I always kind of like those events myself personally. Even if rewards do not amount to some sort of massive amount of everything, then at least there is something for everybody, and this quest is going to kind of emphasize that point, where if you are struggling with a quest in higher difficulties, you can target specific paths to gain these rewards that you're going to see scattered about. So if you are not interested, let's say, in tier 4 class fragment crystals, you can just leave these paths be. Obviously then you would miss also an exploration rewards, but because exploration rewards are so puny, you wouldn't be missing out on much. So I think it's fairly clever the way Kabam has designed this quest, and I do like it. So if you can just blitz through the event, fair enough, go and do that, get all of the rewards, you're gonna get a decent chunk of everything. If you can't blitz through the event, pick and choose which ones are the most important ones. Get the 5-star shards, get the tier 5 Bs, get the 6-star shards, get tier 2 alpha fragments, so on and so forth, and leave the rest. Leave the things that you're not interested or you would have to spend too much resource to make it worthwhile, kind of. So I definitely have seen much worse side events, and again, even though rewards at the first glance definitely do not seem to be anything mind-blowing, the whole idea definitely does intrigue me. I think it's interesting. I think it's a cool backstory behind it. The system is quite cool when you hardly get anything for actually exploring it, but you can pick and choose and target which pieces of these rewards you want the most, and so on and so forth. And all in all, I do like it definitely. Now obviously there are some lower tiers as well, so we as always have normal, heroic, master, and epic. I probably personally won't really be exploring the heroic and normal ones. Master and epic are the ones that I'm going to be doing, but it does seem that it will not require that much time. It's not going to be like that easy or quick, but again, we do not have this grind this every day kind of thing. These will be unlocked once a week. If you don't want to do anything for 3 weeks and then play catch up, so do that. And I'm just so happy overall that this game is trying to move away from the idea of forcing us to do that side event quest stuff every day like we had in MCOC labs or we had in some sort of other things that are cool when they come out, and then about a week later nobody can be bothered really anymore because it feels like a super chore. It feels like a grind where every day you have to sit down, do that for 20 minutes, then you forget about it, and then last minute you remember and you check the time whether you can still make it in time, or you sometimes just forget about them, and then you miss out on the rewards. This format of delivery change is definitely extremely welcome. Absolutely love it. I hope they pretty much never go back to those daily things. Those were so grueling, right? Yeah, I definitely think this is much better. I think this quest, with the way it's kind of like formed, can potentially be really interesting as well, depending on the fights and all that stuff. By the format of it, is that will not feel that it's kind of like too pressurizing for you to explore everything. There's nothing to log in daily for. You can just get in there when you have time, target the rewards that you need currently the most, or even if you have hardly any time, you can just grab the snippets of the rewards at that point when you need them and then come back later for the rest. And it gives a lot more kind of like choice and freedom to the players, and I think that's great. I think there are many things Kabam is doing wrong right now, but when it comes to these side events overall, I think they have been quite cool. I definitely think that the Squirrel Girl event was awesome. I think it was one of the more kind of like fresh things we had seen side event wise ever in the game. I think Love is a Battle Realm was good enough and is good enough, mainly because of all the love juice action they got going on. The whole side arena thing sucks, and that was ill-designed. That was definite L, but this quest again seems to pick it up a bit. I definitely like the format. Hopefully it's actually also going to feel interesting and that there is some idea behind it, and hopefully it's going to work out the way it is working out in my head. But again, to recap, so basically you're going to have 4 weeks. Each week you get quest unlocked. There's going to be 4 total of quests. First quest is going to be 8 paths, then we're going to move to 12 paths, then quests 3 and 4 is going to have 16 paths. Each path has 3 fights and a boss fight, so we're going to be fighting the boss a lot. And yeah, in most of the rewards will be distributed towards these each individual paths, and actual completion and exploration rewards are relatively whatever kind of thing. There is nothing too impressive there, especially for that being once a week kind of reward. But at the same time, everything we can select on the paths is fairly decent, is fairly well versed. Obviously, we can always wish for more TFIBs and 6-star hero crystal shards and stuff like that. But all in all, it's not the worst pool of rewards in my opinion. Also, the fact that you can pick and choose which ones you want to grab at whatever point is quite cool. And yeah, so this event seemingly from the first impressions gets a thumbs up from me. Also, last thing, I almost forgot to mention that it costs 0 energy, and that's a huge change because the energy issue was always fairly annoying for these side events, and it felt like kind of like a bit of a drain, and it felt like a bit of a cheap way to lessen the rewards you can gain versus actual kind of like unit cost or energy refills that are needed if you want to play catch up. Now, the fact that this costs 0 energy is just great. I think it's again a step in right direction, and despite all the things that I personally heavily disagree with Kabam, this is definitely kind of like pro player move. I think that they did cut us a bit of a slack. It's a nice thing. Obviously, it doesn't change the big problems in the game, but it's refreshing to see that some of the perhaps feedback might have been taken in consideration when it comes to side events. We can see some originality, something different, something that doesn't feel like a rehash from before. Also, stuff like the fact that there's no energy cost. That means it's definitely not something they came up with on their own. It's something that people complained about and that they eventually listened. So even though it might not be the best period in the game currently, especially with the whole Act 6 situation, but there are also some good things. And if you don't care about Act 6 or Abyss and stuff like that, then this side event definitely should provide you with a relatively decent piece of content for the month of March. But again, that will be enough of me mumbling here right now. I think I have said everything that I wanted to say, and yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.